You want to learn how to build your first profitable startup MVP, but have no idea where to start? Today, I'm going to show you the easy way and guide you through building your first minimum viable product from scratch. No coding needed or required, and I promise it's easier than you think. We'll focus on creating something that's both innovative and budget friendly. Stick around, because by the end of this video, I'll also share exactly how I built my own MVP and the steps I took to launch it successfully. Let's get your app from idea to reality. Last time on Dreaming Digital, we explored how you can use platforms like Facebook groups and Reddit subreddits to validate your app idea. The response was incredible, showing that there's a real appetite for what you want to create. Now, we're taking that validated interest and turning it into something tangible. An MVP, or a minimum viable product, it's all about honing in on the essentials. It focuses solely on the core functionality, the main features needed to address the primary problem your app aims to solve. This approach isn't about achieving perfection right out of the gate or a final product. Instead, it's about practicality and effectiveness. By launching an MVP, you can provide something valuable that users can start interacting with. This user interaction is key. It's a learning tool. You gather real feedback from users, which informs you what's working, what's not, and what could be improved. This process ensures that every step of development is guided by user needs and insights. A great example of an MVP is Zappos. The founder, Nick Swinmurn, started with just a simple website that had listings of shoes. Without actually having any inventory, he posted pictures from shoe stores, and when someone ordered, he'd buy the shoes at full price and ship them himself. This unconventional approach helped him validate the online demand for shoes without a huge initial investment. For those of you without a tech background, diving into app development can seem daunting. Thankfully, we have no-code platforms that are here to make it accessible for everyone. These tools allow you to build functional prototypes without needing to write any code. Let's look at a couple of options. At first, you have Bubble. Bubble is a powerful no-code platform that allows you to create interactive, multi-user apps for both mobile and web. It has a drag and drop interface, and you can design complex workflows. You can manage databases and even integrate with a variety of APIs and external services. Bubble is great if you want to build a fully functional app that includes user-generated content or requires user authentication. Next up, we have Adalo. Adalo is another excellent no-code option that focuses on creating apps with a sleek, modern design, and it's pretty user-friendly for beginners and offers a range of pre-made components that can be combined to create apps that look professionally designed, such as templates and other tools that you can use for it. Adalo allows you to create both mobile and web apps, provides easy tools for adding features like push notifications, payments, and more. Next up, we have Google Forms. For those of you who are just starting out and looking for something even simpler, Google Forms can also be used to prototype an app's functionality by gathering user inputs and feedback. It's really straightforward to set up and can be a really great way to test a concept before investing in more complex development. So each of those platforms serves a different need and complexity level. From simple forms to fully interactive apps, they empower you to bring your ideas to life with minimal technical skill. By starting with these tools, you could develop a working model of your app, which is really crucial for gathering feedback and making improvements. Hiring a freelancer to help with your app development can also be a smart move, especially if you don't have a tech co-founder and aren't familiar with coding yourself. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr offer a vast pool of talent. You can find skilled professionals at relatively low cost. This could be a great way to get your MVP off the ground without a hefty investment. However, stepping into this arena without prior experience can be risky. Here's a few ways you can approach this wisely. First, you need to understand the risks. It's important to acknowledge that while there are many talented and trustworthy freelancers, there's also some who might take advantage of your inexperience. These individuals might prolong projects unnecessarily, driving up costs or deliver subpar work that doesn't meet your needs. You need to set clear expectations. To mitigate the risks, it's crucial to set clear, detailed expectations before the project begins. This includes specifying the scope of the project, deadlines, and deliverables. Having a well-documented agreement can help ensure that both parties are on the same page. Always take the time to review a freelancer's previous work and read through their client reviews. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr provide ratings and feedback from past clients, which can give you a good sense of their reliability and quality of work. Establish a consistent communication schedule to keep tabs on the project's progress. This helps prevent any misunderstandings and ensures that the project stays on track. Regular check-ins can also discourage freelancers from dragging out the project unnecessarily. If possible, start with a small, manageable project to test the waters. This allows you to evaluate a freelancer's capabilities and reliability without committing to a large budget. If they meet your expectations, you can feel more confident about entrusting them with larger aspects of your project. Joining a community like our Facebook group can be incredibly beneficial. Here, you can connect with others who are also navigating the app development process, and this group offers support and mentorship, which can help you make informed decisions and avoid common pitfalls. Our members often share their experiences with different freelancers and can offer recommendations or warnings based on real interactions. Being cautious and informed can help ensure that you find a freelancer who not only fits your budget, but also delivers quality work in a reasonable time frame. Remember, the goal is to efficiently develop your MVP without compromising on quality or getting sidetracked by unscrupulous practices. Sometimes the best way to validate your app idea doesn't even involve building complex software right away. It also sometimes doesn't require building a software at all. Instead, you can start with something much simpler, a landing page MVP. Buffer is a great example of a landing page MVP. This well-known social media management tool began its journey with a minimalist approach known as a landing page MVP. This type of MVP is essentially a simple website designed to test interest in a product before any substantial development takes place. Buffer's website initially just consisted of 2 pages. The first explained the tool's value proposition, how it could simplify social media management, and the second collected email addresses from interested users. This basic setup allowed Buffer to validate the market demand without building the full software. By collecting emails, they engaged directly with potential users, gaining valuable feedback that informed their development process. This approach not only confirmed the interest in their concept, but also built an initial user base. It made the product launch smoother and more targeted. Buffer's story exemplifies the effectiveness of a landing page MVP, demonstrating that sometimes the simplest tests can provide the insights needed to build a successful project. By focusing on gathering user interest and feedback from the outset, they were able to develop a tool that was closely aligned with customer needs. A manually operated MVP, sometimes called a Wizard of Oz MVP, because like the famed wizard, what appears complex is actually controlled by a person behind the curtain. What is a human-operated MVP? This type of MVP involves manual work on the back end while appearing automated to the user. The idea is to mimic the core functionality of the intended software product through human effort. It could be more cost-effective and quicker to implement at an early stage. Some examples would be a concierge MVP. Imagine you're developing an app designed to recommend personalized diet plans. So instead of coding complex algorithms and creating a full app interface up front, you start by creating a simple website where users can submit their dietary preferences and goals. Behind the scenes, a nutrition expert manually analyzes this information and sends users customized meal plans via email. This process allows you to test the basic premise of your app, personalized diet recommendations, without any actual app development. What are the benefits of a human-operated MVP? Well, first, you have speed. It's typically much faster to set up a human-operated MVP than to design, develop, and debug a software prototype. The cost, which is number 2. Lower upfront costs, as you avoid spending on technology development early on. Feedback. It allows for direct and detailed feedback from all your users about the core service or product idea, and that can guide future development too. As you validate the concept and start understanding user behavior and preferences, you can begin to automate different parts of the process when you have a Wizard of Oz MVP. This transition should be based on actual user data and feedback. It can ensure that the automation improves the user experience and addresses their needs effectively. Example of a gradual automation would be continuing with the diet plan app. As you collect more data on common preferences and successful meal plans, you can develop a database of diet options and automate the meal selection process. If your MVP is doing well, you can introduce more complex features like an automated chatbot that handles initial inquiries or an algorithm that adjusts meal plans based on user feedback. This is exactly how you gradually scale. Starting with a human-operated MVP is a strategic way to test your business's ideas and viability and appeal without the initial complexity and expense of full-scale software development. It allows you to learn directly from user interactions and make informed decisions about which features to automate and scale. All right, you've got your MVP ready. Now's the time to think about who gets the first look. We've got two potential tools at our disposal: our email list on MailChimp that we spoke about in the earlier video, and our dedicated followers in Facebook groups. Let's break down how and why to use each for your soft launch. First up, your MailChimp email list. This isn't just a list of emails. It's a curated group of people who have shown interest in what you're doing. They've signed up, given their trust, and they're waiting to see what you've got. That's gold. Launching to your email list is like inviting your friends over to test out a new recipe. It's safe, controlled, and you know they'll give you honest feedback because they want to see you succeed. Here's a pro tip. You can even create segments of your most engaged email subscribers. These are the people you know have a greater chance of opening your emails than other subscribers. So most likely, these people will be the first users of your iteration of your MVP. Send them a personal invite to try your app. Ask for their thoughts and watch closely how they use it. Their feedback can be incredibly insightful because they are invested in your journey. Now, let's talk about Facebook groups. This is where you get a bit more diverse. You've got a mix of silent watchers, lurkers, active participants, and maybe even a few skeptics. All great for testing the waters beyond your immediate circle. Posting to Facebook groups feels like a bit like throwing a party and inviting the whole neighborhood. Not everyone's gonna come, but those who do are likely to be more vocal and give you a broader range of feedback. It's a great way to see how your app stands up to larger audiences and scrutiny. Here's how we could tackle both. Start with your MailChimp list for the initial quiet rollout. Think of it as a friends and family phase. Once you've gathered initial impressions and ironed out any glaring issues, then ramp up to your Facebook groups. This way, you're not just going in cold. You're armed with knowledge about what might need a quick fix and what's already loved. In both cases, keep it light, keep it engaging, ask specific questions like, what did you find most useful? Or what would you change if you could? Remember, every piece of feedback is a stepping stone to making your app better. Now, remember I told you that I'd tell you how I built my first MVP? Well, in my previous videos, I stated that I found someone on Fiverr to build my first software in the industry that I currently am in. That was my MVP. It was a Windows-based software. We offered a 7-day free trial to it before we would even charge. We didn't attach any strings, and you didn't even need a credit card to sign up for the trial. Most companies try to attach your credit card to trials, and we felt that if we didn't pressure people into purchasing our software, they would do it because they wanted to, not because they were too lazy to cancel or forgot to cancel. Attaching a credit card to a trial can bring your refund rates up, which sometimes doesn't look good when trying to exit or trying to show numbers to investors. And to me, our customers are some of the most loyal and wonderful people we've ever met. They trust us because we remain as transparent as we possibly can. So there you have it. You've learned how to build your first MVP using simple no-code tools, or using a freelancer. You've also learned how to test whether it's the familiar territory of your email list or the broader platform of Facebook groups. Both are invaluable for a soft launch. Use them wisely, listen hard, and iterate fast. And hey, keep your chin up, because every bit of feedback is gold, especially in the early stages. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more insights on making your app the best that it can be. Drop a comment below if you've got questions or share your own experiences. I love hearing from you guys, so I'll see you in the next video.